Hey everybody, what is up? Welcome back to Final Trade. Maybe instead of starting a business, you could just go flip burgers instead, because at least from the first moment you're on the job, you'll be making the $11, $12 an hour that you get for that nowadays, instead of sinking tons of time into a business while not even making revenue, much less profit. And, I get so sick of that kind of attitude because there is no business you can start that does not require you to spend huge amounts of time working and not getting paid. I mean, just the very most basic technical things of starting a business. You got to come up with a name for a business. You've got to register it with your Secretary of State in the state you live in. You've got to get with the IRS and get an EIN number. And by the way, the IRS shuts down that part of its website on the weekend. It's an automated website. They shut it down on the weekend so you can't use it outside of business hours. After that, you've got to get with your state comptroller and get a sales tax permit. And then you've got to go to a bank and get a business bank account. Those are the four things that are the very, very, very most basic. And they all have requirements that one be done before another. Some of them have catch 22 requirements where you have to have a sales tax certificate before a bank will talk to you. And you have to have a business bank account before some state comptrollers will talk to you. You are going to spend a bunch of time accomplishing all these things, and you know what? You won't get paid for it. There's going to be a lot of stuff you do when you own a business that you don't get paid for. And you trudge through that because the point of opening a business is that one day the business will provide income. It will provide cash flow that you can actually take out of the business to support yourself with. And hopefully you'll enjoy it more than your corporate job that you have now or your burger flipping job that you took instead of starting a business. So, I don't believe that people who suggest this kind of stuff are always malicious. I think it's only a very rare minority of cases where people are really trying to sabotage you. But the reality is they think they're helping and they're really not. You are always going to have an outlay of time to get a business going. And any suggestion that, well, you should just take the money that you were going to put into that business and buy stocks instead, that's actually no different. That money is just a representation of work you've already done. And instead of taking that money and using it on instant gratification, like going out to eat, going to a bar, going to a movie, something like that, you're going to put it into this business. You're going to buy sealed product that you sit in your closet for years. That's no different than taking that money and buying a stock. You buy the stock, and its market value will go up over time, but you are not realizing that gain in value until way in the future. So you're just deferring your gratification on that investment, the same way as starting a business. So you're not actually suggesting anything different be done. I did my taxes for Final Trade for the first full year of the business this past weekend. And for the year, I posted a net loss of about $850 on the business. So various supplies and things that I bought were more than the profits from all of the small sales that I made by an amount of about $850. But at the same time, I built a couple tens of thousands of dollars of inventory that I still have in a closet and that gains value over time, and one day I will sell. So I spent a lot of money on the business last year trying to build it up, and profit and loss wise, say that I spent 300 hours on the business last year. I actually have no idea what I might have spent. I wouldn't even hazard a guess, but let's just pretend it's 300 hours. And I ended up with an $850 loss on the profit and loss statement. That means I paid $3 an hour to work in my business. So no, it is not worthwhile to do it if all you're going to measure by is how much money per hour can I make doing this thing or that thing. Instead, you need to measure it by what was the business that I grew? What was the amount of product that I was able to put into inventory? What were the business connections that I made in the last year that's now allowing me to regularly buy product almost 20% cheaper than market prices? So things like that. Measure it those ways because those are the things that are going to grow your business over the long term. And, I know with the way social media it thrives on negativity. People only want to post themselves at great vacation spots, doing fun things. They don't show you how mundane normal life is. And so people who use social media too much end up with this skewed perception of reality and what life should be like. But the reality is, not everything you endeavor to do in your life will be successful. Not every idea I've had for Final Trade has worked. I've tried a lot of things in this company and on this YouTube channel that just haven't worked. They just flat didn't pan out. And, you change your strategy, you adopt new things, you modify what you are doing, and you move on. You keep trying to grow things and move forward, despite the fact that you're working for free or you're paying to work. So don't get discouraged by people telling you you're dumb, that your ideas are dumb. And remember, you don't need a great idea to start a business. I have an unfortunate friend who thinks that to start a business, you need a multi-trillion-dollar idea that scales infinitely at zero marginal capital cost and has a total addressable market of 42 billion humans who don't exist yet. Needless to say, he will probably never start a business. So be realistic and just realize it takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of time, but if you stay with it and keep going, it will probably work out for you. At the very worst, the business fails, but you learn about operating a business. And later in your life, you might have another idea for a different business that you want to operate, and you have that experience from your previous failed business. So let me know what you think. Kind of a slight rant video. Sorry if I came off a little too irritated, but I get tired of people thinking they're being helpful and all they're doing is sabotaging folks. So let me know what you think. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Join me on Final Trade. Thanks a lot, everyone.